Hi, I'm Sam Sadler here with Curtain Call reviews for Standing at the Sky's Edge. I'm here with Samuel Jordan. Samuel, tell me who you play.
I play Jimmy Stanhope.
I'm Elizabeth Ayodele and I play Joy.
I'm Mel Lowe and I play Connie.
My name is Baker Mukasa and I play George.
Can you tell us a bit about Connie?
So Connie is is the narrator.
Jimmy grew up on Park Hill to Rose and Harry. He's just a product of the beautiful early years of Park Hill in Sheffield.
I guess is a sort of quiet anchor through the various timelines that we see inhabit this one flat in Park Hill.
These streets are tonight. These streets are, and these lights in our hearts they don't.
Joy is the most remarkable character I've ever had the joy of playing.
We see him first as a 17-year-old boy who's wandering around Park Hill, and then as we get to know him, we see that he's constantly looking for work and constantly trying to do things for himself to try and have a better life. And then we see Jimmy at 30 years of age with a wife and child, still on Park Hill.
George is a Liberian refugee. He travels to Park Hill with two of his cousins. He starts off as 17, and you kind of see him navigate a new life in this new country, in this new world after fleeing from conflict.
Her main goal is trying to get through, trying to make sense of everything that is new for her, and she goes on this incredible coming-of-age journey. You see her at so many different stages of life.
So I think his journey is one of hope, is one of trying to seek some sort of safety, and is one of trying to kind of keep his family together, for want of a better word.
I think at the very beginning you're like, oh sweet, she just misses home, and then at the very end this has become her home.
I think his function in the production is to kind of be a joyful anchor for Joy, and to kind of help her to realise that yes, we've come from a lot, we've fled from a lot, but there is still a lot for us to gain from being here, as scary as it is.
But do you know that tonight these streets are tonight these streets are these lights in these streets are tonight these streets are.
Without giving away too much of the story, for those who haven't seen it, what can we expect from the show?
It's a story that is truly just about community and how community can be the beating heart of anything, and just how that home isn't, it is set in Park Hill, this famous building, but really it's about home and heart and what that means to you, and how the people in our lives are all we've got.
You're going to love Richard Hawley's music. Tom Deeran's arrangements, you're going to be like, oh, that sounds classy.
They can expect epic vocals.
Hands down. I can vouch for that, I've just seen it.
They can expect to go through all the emotions. I think they can expect to hear some incredible music.
You will love the ensemble feel of the show and the feel of community. That heart, if you have a community, or even if you don't have a community, but you long for that, or you've ever felt that in the past, I think that would be a good reason to come.
They can expect to take a bit of hope away with them, and to kind of feel like, you know what, whatever troubles or trials or tribulations you face, you can kind of overcome it with community.
Brilliant musicality, a wonderful book written by the brilliant Chris Bush, and a lot of community and love and hope that we're hoping that we're getting across the audiences from us to them.
And Mel, what does community mean to you?
Oh, really good question.
The feeling of home, but with people.
I think community is being able to not worry alone. I think it's being able to be like, actually, I'm going through something, but I know I can lean on somebody else, and that they take that as a privilege and not a chore.
A sense of belonging, not necessarily just to a place, but it could be within a sort of group of people where you feel like you can be wholeheartedly yourself, feel supported, feel loved, feel nourished, and you're able to reciprocate that back to those people as well, and hopefully feel uplifted by each other.
I think someone once told me, you know, when someone calls you up and asks for help, oh, what an amazing feeling you feel like you can be able to help somebody. So when you need help, never feel like you're burdening somebody. You should feel like you're giving them an actual gift to be able to help you.
There's a great line that Baker says at the end of the show that I won't give away. You have to come and see it.
I was waiting for the line.
No, you have to come and see it. It means being able to have home, but have it with people, have it with friends, have it with cousins, have it with husbands and wives. That the truth of community is that it really rests in your heart and in your connection to other people.
Having just seen it, you can definitely tell that it's very tight.
Yeah.
And there is a sense of community on stage, and everyone kind of has their back. And that's the great thing about theatre, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Like that's, yeah, why I got into it and why I stayed, I think.
Try it now. Aye, that's done it. Right, what's next?
Yeah, the level of sort of like bonding and connection you make with people through your work and through what you do, how quickly that can form and happen, because you need to when you're sort of, you know, being that vulnerable with people on stage every night, or when you're telling stories like this that really mean something to other people. You know that the person that you're stood opposite, you need to trust them wholeheartedly so that you can get what you need to, you know, create out of a scene to tell the story that you're going for to those people that are out there.
3 households, decades apart, sharing one roof, one sun, one hope, to root themselves.
The show's set over 3 decades.
Yeah.
Is there a decade that you'd like to revisit?
Well, if it was one of the decades in the show, then it would be the 60s.
I think the 90s, because I mean, my character goes through the 90s. You watch Joy through the 90s, but I was born in the 90s, and I personally think it's quite an era to be alive.
Maybe the 80s, because I love my wig in the show.
I think mid-90s for mainly for garage and fashion. I'll go back just to peek in, but then I'll come back very quickly because it's always a hard question, because you go, oh, when in time is a good person to be in a minority? Okay, now's good. Now's going back's hard.
You know, I think that's my answer for both, for Sam and for in the show, 60s, because Park Hill, when it first became a thing and it was livable, was like this mecca, this safe haven for all these people to get out of the slums. And I imagine the community and the spirit there would have just been, you know, so joyous to be a part of. And also 60s, because that was the best music.
Film, art in general, I think was so more expansive. Those early years of my life were years that I thought everything was happening, and it might just be the illusion of how young I was at the time, but I look back so fondly on those years, and so I think if I could go back, I'd be my age now, but I'd be my age in the 90s.
All of the 80s music, I think, is fun and boppy and such a vibe.
I'd find someone who created or invented something really big and be like, we should be friends. Because it would be nice later in life to be able to be like,
There's a guy in my class called Sundown. I'm going to make really good friends with him, because, you know, you never know where it's going to go.
Because you don't know what can happen. And it would make
He's really funny.
now to be really great.
Life was just starting to get, after the war, it was just becoming a bit more freer and a bit more unique, and everyone started to have a voice again, I think, especially in the arts anyway.
He was sliding down the razor's edge and watched his life slowly sink.
If you had to sum up the show in 3 words, what would they be? Have a little think.
Okay. Bring your tissues.
Community, hopeful, and real.
Oh, they were the 3 words.
That's the 3 words. Yeah, bring your tissues.
I love that. I was expecting amazing, incredible. Bring your tissues.
Yeah, bring your tissues.
Complex, beautiful, and heartwarming.
Ooh.
Hyphenated, but sneak it in.
What's your favourite musical?
My favourite musical? That's actually really, really difficult.
Can't say this one.
Okay, well, if it's not this one.
This one? I'm in it. I'm actually in it.
I've only ever seen one musical,
Ever?
I love Sondheim, I think.
Did you see Old
There's-
Friends?
I did see Old
Oh,
Friends. I
amazing,
did see Old Friends. It's so beautiful. I'm kind of dying for Merrily We Roll Along to come over here because I'm like,
it's on Broadway, isn't it?
it's on Broadway, and I'm like, come on over. You've got Daniel Radcliffe, so everyone make a skip over the
Yeah.
pond.
Favourite musical, Gypsy?
I've got many favourite pieces, but the first thing comes to mind is The Colour Purple. I think that's big on my list, which I love.
yes,
Which
yeah.
I
Have
was
you seen
lucky.
it?
I was lucky to see it at the Menier Chocolate Factory when it was here.
Yeah.
I did do it a few.
You did?
I did it a few years ago.
Who did you play in Gypsy?
I played Baby June.
Oh.
Yeah, at the Royal Exchange in Manchester, and it was, it taught me a lot. Again, the people were amazing. Beautiful community. We love Manchester, obviously. The Royal Exchange is truly a building of pure community. Yeah, it was a great show, and the book and the music combined, and the lyrics, obviously.
That was The Witches last year.
Oh, the Nash.
National.
Oh, amazing. The Witches. Did you like it?
I loved it. It was great. It makes me want to see more musicals.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So I guess predominantly you're a straight actor.
It's normal acting. Singing, all of that. I've grown up playing guitar, but it's just all acting, and the singing stuff was
amazing.
not my bag. Yeah.
Well, he was incredible for someone that. So have you trained in singing?
No,
Did you go to
never.
like a straight drum? Where did you train?
I trained at Northampton University, and that was all about writing your own work as well.
Yeah,
So
generally your own work.
so just doing writing work and then acting, and the singing stuff wasn't really a thing there. Yeah.
Wow. And then here you are,
Here I am.
on the West End.
It's achievable.
In a musical. I am so impressed with that.
Very cool. So listen to that soundtrack. That's cool, and ours as well.
And to be honest, your soundtrack is incredible.
It's cool.
Each song is its own, and I find it funny because I've made up the piece in my head because I've pieced all the songs together.
Yeah.
And even watching it today, it was quite difficult with the piece in my head.
To get the full force of it, the soundtrack is incredible because Richard Hawley's a fantastic musician and songwriter, and he's so poetic and so deep. And I think to get the full effect of our cast album, I think you really need to see it. So please, please, please do book a ticket. You will not be disappointed.
We say this a lot, and we've said this a lot in the process, like, there's no way that this show could happen if it was sort of just the story of one person. I think everybody who is present on that stage every night needs to be there. Every person backstage, all of the stage management team, every member of the band, all the people front of house out here. If not all of those people were present in
There's
that
one
one
link
moment,
missing.
the story wouldn't be able to be told the way that it's told every night, and it really is very much everyone needs to be putting their sort of 2 cents in. Everybody needs to be doing their bit in order for this musical to exist as it does, and everybody really does. There's no one main player. It's very much an everyone piece.
I think the joy of this piece is that it really does attract a multitude of ridiculously talented individuals. Like, it's actually very hard to pick one person, because for this to work, like I talked about community, it's basically every single person being at the top of their game and having the biggest hearts that you'll ever encounter. And I think that's why it's a joy to do this show, because people really do come here with everything to give, and it's such a lovely environment to be working in because people are ridiculously talented but have such kind hearts, and having that combination in a production is just, it doesn't come around often, so when it does you really cherish it.
To prepare for this, I was so scared of the audition, and there was 7 people in the room, and they're the most I'd ever sang in front of my life.
The panel.
It's so scary. And then when I found out I got the job, I went to care homes to sing for them for free, so I could practice singing in front of people.
I'm sure you got some reactions in the care home.
They are great. They were amazing. They were so up for it. They was really great, actually.
I did a community theatre show, and then this old lady just stood up and she went, "Well, when are you finishing? Are you finished yet?" And I was literally like, "Oh my god, I need to go to the toilet. When are you finishing?"
Oh, no.
And literally I was like,
filter. They will tell you what they think.
This is a show, I'll bring people who don't like musicals, who love musicals. I think it's so accessible and so relatable. So yeah, don't miss it, because so many people are like, "Oh, I saw it in the National and I missed it." So time to get your tickets.